Hi guys, so here is my single shadows declutter. um, yeah, this isn't the perfect way to do this, but it's as close as I'm going to be able to get to do it in a timely manner. So let's start over here with some of my blacks and deep grays, that sort of thing. So this one can most certainly go. This is matte carbon. It's still in the box. I clearly never used it. So this can leave. I'm also going to get rid of MAC Black Tide. I hardly ever use this. I swatch them and I like this is actually MAC Dark Soul Pigment Pressed. And I also have NARS, is it Night Flight? I have that. So those two are fine for sparkly blacks. I can get rid of MAC Black Tide. I'm going to keep MAC Typographic. I really like that nice matte deep gray, and I love the matte squared formula from MAC. This eyeshadow is actually why I was able to tell myself that I could get rid of the Naked 3, because I really only liked it for Blackheart, and this shade is very similar. This is from the Wet n Wild. The Vanity palette, I believe. It might have been Lust. I depotted both of them. I'm not sure if it's Vanity or Lust, but it is this gorgeous dark charcoaly espresso color with pink shimmer glitter running through it. So I'm going to keep that one. I am also going to keep this other Wet n Wild. It's a nice dark matte brown. This was from the Vanity palette. I can use that in my crease or as liner. I think that'll be a nice versatile color to have. Oops, some of this stuff's falling over. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this MAC shadow. This is 100 Strokes. It was from Redhead Blonde Brunette collection, I think. I just don't reach for it. It tends to look very dark on me. So that one's going to leave. I'm also going to get rid of this one. This is signed sealed. This was another limited edition that I depotted. Again, it's just pretty dark for me. I don't reach for it that often. I'm also going to get rid of this one as well. This is Smut. I don't reach for this one. It's just really dark. I just don't tend to use these very dark shadows. If I want a darker color, I usually pick a bronzy one or a purple one, just not a dark brown one. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all three of those. This gray one, I'm going to keep this for now. I'm not positive if I will keep it forever. It's another depotted Wet n Wild. Okay, so that was my dark colors. Let's go up here to some of my more colorful shadows. This is Bare Minerals Peacock. This is a really beautiful color. I'm not going to even attempt to open it, but I am going to keep that for now. This is NYX Mermaid, I think. It's this nice, it's a deeper green than what I have. And I'm going to go ahead and keep this for now. I'm going to try depotting my NYX and see if I use them more that way. I'm also going to keep this. This is a pressed pigment in MAC, from MAC Steel Blue. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this MAC Paradisco, or no, not Paradisco, Aquadisiac single. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. I am going to keep this NYX shadow in Atlantic. This is a much brighter blue than the blue in that LA Colors quint that I showed you, so I still think that I will find a good use for this one. I am, however, going to get rid of this NYX in Jade. It's just not the right color for my eyes. It just makes my eyes look very washed out. This is a single from Urban Decay in Acid Rain. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one as well. I've had it for years and I never ever reach for it. So let's go ahead and move over to my taupes and look at some of those. This is Prestige. Is it Long-Term Relationship in Bewitched? This is a duochrome. This has a much more subtle duochrome than the club dupe that's in the Wet n Wild. I'm going to keep this because I think this might end up being more wearable for me than the one in the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. So here is Patina from MAC and Burberry Pale Barley. I don't know if I'm keeping this one or not. I'm unsure about what to do with these. I obviously have a big dip in patina. I clearly used to wear it a lot, but I haven't worn it in a while. The pigmentation is still fine. It's still a good shadow. You know, there's no problem with it wearing on me. You know what? I think I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this Burberry Pale Barley one. Here's a new Bare Minerals. It's a mini in Celestine. I got my mom the whole set of minis for Christmas, and she already had Celestine that I had just gotten her in full size, so she gave me the small size, and that's a beautiful taupey color. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. It's not even open yet, so I'm going to be keeping that for a while. Other taupes that we have here. So, other taupey colors. This is Smoke and Diamonds from the Star Flash collection. This is just a really gorgeous color, and I am definitely keeping this, and I hope that now I will be able to use it more. I just don't use it enough, but it's a beautiful color. I'm definitely going to keep that one. This is Lhasa from NARS. I'm also going to keep that one. I think that's a good selection of taupes. I'm sorry if I keep getting you guys out of frame. I'm trying to look at the colors out of the monitor, so it looks funny sometimes. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this other Prestige Total Intensity shadow in On the Prow. The packaging is just way too big for me, and it's a little bit too dark for my taste, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Okay, so this is what I'm keeping. Oh, and I am keeping this Bare Minerals Sure Thing. It's a mini size, and this is a really beautiful, deep, warm brown color. So if we go up here to the more like rosy type of taupes, we have NARS Ondine. Oh, and I forgot to say, so the NARS singles that are like this, I got those for free from work when I used to work at Sephora. So I'm going to keep Ondine because I really haven't played with it much. This is Shale from MAC. Let me just compare those two. See, Shale's a little bit cooler toned, not quite as rosy as Ondine. Let me just, oh, I'm sorry, guys. And I'm sorry my light's a little crazy right now. I'm going to go ahead and, I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Shale. I haven't reached for them in so long. I think I'm just going to keep that one for now. So over here we have some more mid-tone crease colors and matte highlights and some shimmery highlights. I can tell you off the bat, I'm getting rid of Matte Coquette. This just does not work for me. It's way too green. It would look great on someone with olive skin tone, I think, but on me it just looks really terrible. This is Makeup Geek Barcelona Beach. This is sort of a nice, my fingers are kind of dirty, but it's a nice crease color. I have used it. The texture is very silky and spot on, so I'm definitely going to keep that one. I'm also going to keep, this is a very warm toned, yellowy brown, mid-tone color matte finish. Sorry, my sentence structure is getting all messed up today. From Wet n Wild. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. I like these small pans of Wet n Wild. I just think, you know, it's not as much of a commitment to keep them. Can tell you I'm getting rid of this one. This is MAC Carefree. It's one of the Pro Longwear ones. It just doesn't work for me as a highlight. I just am not that interested in it. I'm going to go ahead and keep both of these. These are pressed pigments. I'll use them as shimmery lid shades. I'm also going to go ahead and keep these Wet n Wild matte highlight colors. This Makeup Geek, I think it's Beaches and Cream. That one's also going to stay. This yellow toned gold, however, is going to go. It's just much too yellow toned for me, and I wouldn't use it unless I was doing some sort of editorial look, which I don't do, frankly. So this is Rice Paper from MAC. This one's also going to leave. It just doesn't work for me. This is MAC Blank Type. That is staying. This highlight from Wet n Wild is going to stay. That's a nice white gold sort of color. I think I can still work with that. It is pretty yellow, but I think I can still work with that. This is Rockstar from Makeup Geek. That really should have gone over here with like my taupes, I think, as like a lighter version of them. Up here we have some more bronzy colors. This is part of a NARS Sugarland. It's a very gold frosty shade. Again, I got it for free from work when I worked at Sephora. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of MAC Woodwinked in a single. I did use quite a bit of it, but it just seems too orange on me now. I'm also going to go ahead and get rid of NARS Lola Lola single. That one's a bit too sheer for my liking. I'm definitely going to keep Sable. I love that one. This is Mulch from MAC. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. I don't reach for this one at all. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one from Wet n Wild. It's pretty similar to the MAC one, so in case I miss that one for some reason, I can use this one, and this one doesn't take up as much space. This is Chocolate Brown. Yeah, Chocolate Brown pressed pigment that I pressed from MAC. I'm going to keep that. So we've got my oranges, burgundies, and purples left. All right. So this is Apricot Mousse from NYX. I'm going to get rid of this one. It's just a bit too frosty for me. This is NYX, is it Africa? I really like this color. I am definitely keeping this. This was a Sephora one that came out a while ago. I'm going to see if this will depot and fit in my palette. I think, I don't know about that one. I might get rid of it. The packaging is just way too bulky. This is MAC Expensive Pink. It's just a bit too like frosty for me. I don't know. I don't like it anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one as well. This is Mythology from MAC. I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one as well. It just doesn't work for my coloring, I think. This is MAC Royal Flush pigment that's pressed. I'm going to keep that. I'm also keeping this NYX Fahrenheit color, even though it is very similar. I don't know, what can I say? I really like that kind of color. I'm going to keep this Kevyn Aucoin single in burgundy, but I'm going to try and depot it. I hate this packaging. It's awful. So, but I'm going to try and depot that one. This NYX purple color, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. It's a bit too like Easter egg purple, if you get my drift. Fig One, I'm definitely keeping. Nocturne, I'm definitely keeping. These are both Fig One dupes from Wet n Wild. I'm going to keep them because, as you can see, my Fig One has been through a battle zone. I'm also going to keep my Cornflower pressed pigment from MAC. I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to keep, this is the other half to that NARS duo in Sugarland. That's maybe a nice, really bright purple. I think maybe in the spring that might be really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and keep those. I probably got rid of about half of them, I think. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.